which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well,
Okay,
that's my coming in.
We have one
You may want to sign in.
discussion regarding service with Baker Tilly.
Okay. I had emailed you guys a quote, which actually came with the contract. I began speaking with other auditors from other counties, and a lot of them had informed me that their FA helps them with their financial reports. I looked into FA. I honestly thought they were talking about maybe one of their employees. And then they informed me that they have basically consultants, and one of them is Baker Tilly. So with this, I reached out to Baker Tilly last week. I had started on the annual financial report and tried to pull the first report from WOW of 108 that I have to upload, and I had 4 pages of errors. I think a lot of it has come with the conversion from Harris to WOW of a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. They were called crossover. They weren't crossovered with the State Board of Accounts numbers. It has taken me days to get all those done. So with that, I just feel that maybe reaching out to Baker Tilly to make sure we're crossing all of our T's, dotting all of our I's with this annual financial report, and basically kind of being a liaison for me as far as getting this done to where it's done correctly, and basically assist me with this first year. I know that a lot of them, of other counties, use them as part of their internal control with their annual financial report, where you've got an outsourced set of eyes looking at your annual financial report, putting it together. So that is a possibility if we want to do that. But with all the conversion from Harris to WOW, there is a lot of cleanup that I'm just coming across because I just started on the annual financial report last week, and I feel I need some consulting on this. So with what they have, they've basically sent different, because of course they told about other services they can offer with the annual financial, annual budget. They can do different budget workshops. So a lot of this is just another service, other services they offer that we can take advantage of. I know they help with the redevelopment and TIF. So for the annual report, I did actually speak with Paige yesterday, and it kind of told her a lot of what I had already got done, and she's like, that's great. But that cuts off of time as far as an expense with them. So for them to assist with the annual financial report, time and expense, not, you know, approval for funding, but since this is a contract, I will have to, if you guys do approve it, it'll have to be with the stipulation of approving the contract with the commissioners, which is on the agenda for Monday. The least I can go ahead, if you guys approve this, we're already at the 3rd as far as getting things rolling with the annual financial report.
Do we have to, Chris, can we do just the annual report in the
Yes.
contract? And then
Yes.
if you want help with the
Yes.
budget, then we can cross that
They
bridge.
just
then.
included everything, so if we just want to do the annual financial report right now, and once budget time comes, if we want to use them as a resource, we can. The annual financial report, I think a lot of it is from the conversion from Harris to WOW. I think once we get a lot of that cleaned up, but it's just time doing it. Like I said, I had 4 pages just on the first report of errors to fix, and it took me an entire day to fix 10. And I've been working on them since last week, and I just finished that, and that's one report of 108 that have to be uploaded. I'm hoping that a lot of those errors that I fixed will fix all the other reports too. But I was just in freak out mode last week when, like I said, I've got 108 uploads to do. And that's not even, that's just financials. That's not going into debt services, capital projects and assets. That's not going into your grants, all that. So leaning on a consultant like this that will basically take a lot of that responsibility off and teach me the proper way to, and know that it's being done, I feel it's worth this investment.
I see this as being used initially for this year,
Yes.
and probably in the next years, I would think you would
Correct.
be using it less and less.
Correct.
I would think.
I
Absolutely.
would think that once everything is moved
Right.
over to Lao, that
I think that's
Lao
the
will
big
basically do the report for you.
Yes.
I would like to say that in the past, that we used to be able to pass down, the auditor, would have someone in the waiting and stuff. This right here, brand new,
Well, it
and,
even makes it worse when you got two different software
yeah,
companies.
and, I think this is needed. I think we should help Chris with this. This auditor's job is important to the commissioners and the council, that all these inputs, all these reports are correct. And, this final, it looks like it's gonna be somewhere around $30,000 total.
If I
Up
need,
to-
yeah,
up
up
to-
to,
up
yeah.
to.
I just want to
Yeah,
focus
with
on the
all of them.
annual
Yeah.
financial report right now. Is
Yeah.
6,500. I did speak with Paige yesterday too, and kind of explained to them that I don't feel that this is something, because they were kind of course, doing the pitch of, we can help you with this every year, and kind of what other counties have written. They will, I'm like, I would rather just you hold my hand and give me the information and instructions. And so whether, she said that she would basically make notes on everything, and they will remote into my computer. I will still be doing this. They'll remote in with me. But instead of me having to take an hour to look up how to do something, they're going to show me hands-on, and I'm planning on recording and being able to make notes and be able to, so in 2024, I can move forward on my own. But right now, as I've said, it's so hard right now to spend the time to find the actual right file and the right information, especially with this conversion. It makes more sense and is more time efficient to have a consultant
Now,
help us
this,
with this.
this cost is not in our budget. Have you looked through our budget to see where we
Looking to
can
play, we
trace?
talked about, was it Cambridge or
Transfer.
Cap?
It's June caps where most of our, an island's paid out of that. Of course, that's pretty much maxed out, but we are talking about increasing that, but I don't know when that would, I don't think that
Well,
would
the
take
thing
effect with
is,
this.
from what I understand, we do have the tribal,
Right.
and we also have some more coming in.
Mhm.
And to me, this is essential. This is critical that we get this in the system and
There's other
get
places we
Chris
could-
up to
Right.
speed. So there is some, whichever, how we want to, fund it.
I would hope this.
We're not
probably-
here to decide today where we're pulling from, are we?
Today, we would just approve the funding based
Then the
on the approval
commissioners,
from
and
the
then it'll
commissioner.
come back to us to decide where
Right.
we're gonna pay it out of.
Is it a motion of intent? I mean, because technically, they haven't looked at the contracts.
Right. I would think it would be a motion of the intent.
Yeah.
I particularly don't love motions of intent, but I understand the timeframe on
Right.
this. I talked to Chris, and it's kind of a crunch time, so it's a special circumstance.
Right.
I really don't want to do that for anything other than something emergency like this, with a timeframe that's really tight, but,
It is on the commissioner's agenda, and it has been emailed to them for the Monday morning meeting. So I just wanted to go ahead and, get you guys on board with it, or, get your guys' input, and then go ahead and meet with them. I honestly didn't look at it as being a contract. I thought it just being, the way I was told is it was going to be a quote. So that's why I was bringing it to them, but I have since added it to the commissioner's agenda for Monday morning, and they have been sent it, so then it will run through both of you. But the original understanding was of it just being.
Yes.
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 So I would send it to that, or whoever that is.
Okay.
Send that to them today so they can review it, hopefully.
He's supposed to
prior
be at the meeting too, so I'll make sure I add him to the email, yeah.
So everybody comes to the table, having being reviewed by the attorney and speak
Yes.
process.
I'll make a,
David, do we have
At
a
any time.
contract currently with Baker Tilly? Because our RDC does work with them, so we have something in the county.
ARP
Right.
does too. They've got contracts.
So, I mean, is it a blanket contract or is it specific
I
for
think this would be
RDC?
I think they're all
it's-
separate.
They're all
I think
separate.
it's separate. 'cause
And I think that's where I
I'm not different.
misunderstood it.
The
I thought,
auditor's
Yeah,
budget.
I would have thought it would have been a
I thought
blanket
we already had a
contract.
contract with them, so I just needed to get the quote,
It could be an addendum to the
Mm-hmm.
contract because it's
additional services.
I know, at any rate, at some point, we're going to do an additional appropriation.
Right.
I know you've said that technically we should not be doing additional appropriations in January and February.
Can we pay this out of a fund that we
Well-
don't have to do an additional right now?
I don't
Eventually,
think
we
so.
will.
You don't have to do additional, no matter what.
Okay.
But you're not going to be paying anything
No.
immediately anyway.
No, just
So-
like we've already approved the coroners, you know, you guys have approved it. We just can't pay anything out of
Right.
that until it's sent to the DLGF and they approve it. So you guys can go ahead and approve it,
Well-
and then we've got to send it to the
If we-
DLGF in March.
Open now.
It still won't let you
open now.
put it in,
By
though.
Monday.
Yeah.
You
I,
can
I,
actually put those in now.
I tried to log in and it won't let me because I have not completed my annual financial report. As soon as I complete my annual financial report, then it can. The portal's open, but it will not allow you to submit any until your annual financial report
And
is
I
done.
saw the statutes on that. You have to have those 3 reports in, which the deadline's not until closer to
February
that time. That's why
28th.
they say March 1st.
If we make an addendum to what they, you know, they're overlooking the ARP, you're saying to make an addendum to that, can ARP help fund that?
That would be up to the ARP.
You have to
I don't,
advertise additional anyway.
I
Yeah,
think-
that'd be up to ARP, I mean.
but I still think with what we're after today, and I'll make a motion of intent that we allow Chris to move forward with this, take it to the commissioners. We'll
I'll
figure out
second-
how
I'll
we pay
second
for
that.
it between now and the end of the
When
month.
when you do an additional appropriation, you have to, what is that, 10
2
days?
days, yeah.
So
It's gonna be the end of the month, pretty much, before they get,
do we
But they're not
wait until our
bills.
regular meeting to do the additional? Well,
Do the additional well, we'll have approval, if the commissioners approve the
We'll take it.
contract, we'll have that, so then we can do the additional on the 23rd, because we still have time to advertise
Right.
that for the 20th.
April anyway.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think ARP had received the bill yet, if we used them, I don't know.
We've
We
used,
haven't.
Sherry is the contact for
Yeah.
Baker Tilly.
Yeah.
And she's used them very little. We've used most of the reference is from the city's contact. City used them a bunch.
Well,
okay.
I agree with all this, Chris.
But I still made a motion.
Keith, what was your,
Yeah, I'll
you made a
second.
motion
I made a motion of intent.
based on the
And we'll worry
commissioners
about-
approving the contract?
We'll worry about paying the bill, financing it, when we get that.
Dan, you second that?
Yeah, I second.
All those in favor of the
Aye.
motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. What we got here, 5-0?
Thank you, I appreciate your all support, and I will diligently, once this is
Keep the
approved by the
bill down,
commissioners, diligently work to where next year we won't have this expense, but I do appreciate your guys' assistance with this.
And it doesn't mean that it's going to be 6,500.
No.
It's
No.
just not to exceed, so.
And that's what
I mean,
she
you have a
stated.
lot done.
She's
so
already
I
done
appreciate
some of the
that.
work, so.
And that's what she stated, you're already at where
Yeah.
the more, and it might also honestly be too, some like guidance to where, hey, Chris, do this, you know, this is what you need to do. And, you know, that's 15 minutes of her time showing me how to do it, and then I do it, and then I contact her back, you know, and that's just where I know that I'm not
You
spending.
know you've got them in your corner.
Yeah.
You're
Did you
their
say there's
go-to.
108 forms?
108
Or
just
reports.
in the financials, just in the financials to upload.
And once you know where to look,
Yes.
allow me to be able to say, run this report and get you that number.
Well, WOW was the one that helped me with this very first upload. I was on the phone with them doing it, and then she's like, oh, these, you know, basically, these are all your errors. And it's not literally like, it's an easy fix. You have to go to the State Board of Accounts and get the crossover
Yeah.
account numbers and enter those in. And you're talking, it's just time.
So the 4 pages of errors were from the 108 reports?
No, the I'm hoping, I got the
You probably
errors.
have duplicate errors.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I got the errors when I
Probably.
tried to upload the very first report. I'm hoping that a lot of those errors that have fixed
Right.
more
Right,
of those,
yeah.
and those uploads will just move a lot quicker. But then we get into the grants and we get into the capital project, there's just.
I'm hoping they'll have a checkoff sheet for you,
Yeah, they
so
do.
you'll have something the next time.
Well,
Cheat sheet
it should
mainly.
always have that check off.
On
It's
Gateway,
just
right there, yeah.
The two systems,
Yeah.
what was over here may not look the same over here, and
Sure.
that's why she's getting that error.
Yeah.
It may be the same number.
But yeah,
but the
Same thing,
systems
different
are
numbers,
not
maybe.
completely linked, so that's where she's getting those errors. So she's gonna have to go look here and verify here, and then go here.
It'd be nice if you
To do
could
it.
screen record or something like you
Yeah,
said, so that you
when they
could
were
have
doing that.
sections like
Yeah.
this is this
Oh, yeah.
form, you know,
And
Yeah.
they might have
if they allow that. I didn't see anything about it in here, so.
yeah. Paige seems super helpful, and like I told her, I planned on, taking notes through the time, and if I could record, and she didn't act like that was a problem, so I'll make sure, clarify that with her, but again, thank you guys. This makes me be able to breathe just a little bit easier for the next
It's important.
6 weeks.
25 days.
I know for help, I don't know how I can help you.
Thank you, I appreciate that
I mean,
very
it's
much.
cross-referencing numbers and whatever, I mean, if you need help.
You have
just
support.
holler.
Thank
have
you, I
support
appreciate
here.
that very much, very much. All good?
Is there anything else?
Adjourn?
Motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjournment, signify by saying
Aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0.
All right.
She was actually
Easy peasy.
hospitable, but she
Very.
always makes an appearance.